Oh boy. The Bao situation. She needs to stop tweeting. This is a ref video. We'll go in. Yeah, Bao the whale. An interesting specimen in the VTubing scene. Makes generalized statement. People don't like it. Criticize her. Keeps digging. She just keeps digging and digging and digging. She hasn't posted in a while. She made like a lukewarm apology. That's it. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see the full coverage of the situation.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're gonna be once again talking about Bao the Whale, a very popular indie VTuber.
What the fuck? Is it just me, or are these bigger than usual? Is it just me, or are these bigger than usual? They are bigger than usual.
We've talked about a couple times on this channel, largely in situations where I thought she was being treated unfairly in one form or another. But over the past couple of days, she has been nothing but a...
You want to hear a hot take? You want to hear a hot take? I'll give you a hot take. This might be a very hot take. See, maybe Cinder wasn't all that wrong.
An L Factory on Twitter.com. She's been making a lot of posts that have been received very negatively. People interpreting some of her tweets as being the product
Incredibly poorly, so poorly that I might question the fact. Somebody might actually be misandrist, Mrs. Choosing the bear.
Of misandry, as well as people claiming she's spreading misinformation about Japanese art platforms, and her responses to it have not been good. She's been doubling down, tripling down, caught in lies, and also...
I also just found out a recent fun fact that I didn't know. She has 3-hour goon sessions on Fansly. First of all, I didn't know that she had a Fansly. Second of all, I didn't know that she had 3-hour goon sessions. What the fuck?
Basically saying I'm just engagement farming and this is not a big deal.
Nuh-uh, nuh-uh. It's called engagement farming. Bro, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. You're malicious. I have coined a new term, guys. I've coined a new term. Maliciously retarded. Evil retarded. There's like retarded. There's like levels to retarded. There's retarded, and then there's like at the end of the spectrum, there's like maliciously retarded. Anyways.
Well, it seems like a big deal. She seems to be taking this very seriously now, and yeah, so let's run down what we talked about a few days ago real briefly. She made this post basically saying if you're a small female content creator, if a large male content creator approaches you and love bombs you, you should be cautious. And people, at first, many interpret it as the product of misandry. They thought she was saying all men bad type tweet.
Which it is. It is. It puts all male content creators that you talk to... Because the thing is, where does this end? What do we consider showering? This could be a spectrum. What does one consider showering? The tweet itself isn't nuanced. Because she doesn't give an example. If she gave like an example of like a popular creator doing like... giving attention to a female creator and it turned out being weird, and she gave an example of how this could look like, sure, fine, no issue. Problem is that she didn't specify what it was exactly meant. And she can say nuanced, but her own tweet isn't nuanced. It's just a generalization if a male content creator does this. Especially, it's also kind of tone deaf because she herself, first of all, bigger creators did do that to her. First of all, she herself and content creators that she is now friends with have done that to her. That's the first problem. And second of all, she's in a space that's largely dominated by female creators, which is the VTubing space.
Then shortly after, she would
And if she meant a specific situation, like the Miskiven Emiru situation, then why didn't she say that? Maybe vague posting is stupid.
correct kind of what she meant, claiming that she wasn't talking about just one variation, that it could be like a male VTuber to a female VTuber, or a female to a male, or a female to female, and so on and so forth. But some people thought she was just trying to cover up a tweet.
She did try to cover up a tweet. Maybe more people need to ask themselves, should I tweet this? Is this smart? In this case, it wasn't.
That she was getting criticism for, and some people just continued to believe that she made a post that had misandry in it, and a lot of people who were giving her the benefit of the doubt on this series of replies, even they started to scratch their heads when there was this situation. Now, likes are private on Twitter, but you can see the likes on your own tweets, and
see, this is like the problem. Weird. Why would you like this?
This person posted Bao liking their tweet where the person said, men that are crying about this are the same men that cry about us saying we choose the bear, referring to people upset.
I was following this this VTuber until they became more degenerate with like each month, and well, good that I did this because this is unacceptable. Anyways, I'm gonna say this: women that choose the bear are absolutely and utterly retarded.
About the previous post, and if you're not terminally online, the whole choose the bear thing is a situation where millions of women across the world have said, if I was alone in the woods and I had to choose one thing to be with me, I would choose a bear over a man. And that is just a lot of mental illness, to say the least. But then we have some other...
Here, is that the one? No, that's the receding hairline and minoxidil thingy.
Twitch clips coming from her where she was making fun of people who were criticizing her, including men, and like making fun of their hairlines and stuff. And then she posted this on Discord, basically blaming everything going on, all the drama.
Accountability. See, that's why I significantly appreciate Shondo more, because she actually did a proper apology to the guy she called a groomer. To Floki. She did absolutely do that. She made a proper apology. She took accountability. She realized that she made a mistake. And she took accountability. 100 women versus accountability. Like, it's like funny, right? Power Pups, especially since the Power Pup, the more I see, look at these big VTubers, these big indie, quote-unquote, I don't call them indie. If you have a manager, if you have an entire team, you are not indie. You're not. I don't know, Ref's wife is indie. Who else? Who else? This Yuka person is indie, but Bao is likely not indie.
On Pyro Pups, which are Cinder's fans, and also
the more I look at this, that was my original point. The more I look at this, the more I realize that these big VTubers, that I believe that Cinder possibly, very likely, is correct about her assumption that they just wanted to get rid of her. The more I look at this, and the more I look at these people's behavior, and, like, the stuff people dig out, the more I believe that Cinder might be right.
Grifters, because of course, the grifters, it's always their fault. And that's where we left off. It wasn't a situation that was super...
I wonder if by grifters, she means... I wonder if by grifters, she means female VTubers who call her out on her shit. Because there were plenty of female VTubers who said that she is stupid. I don't know. Weird.
Huge. It was a part of a bigger web of drama going on in the English VTubing scene, which, if you know, when is there not a bunch of drama going on? But this is where we pick off since last time. She would double down again on this tweet where she is clarifying, or trying to, the one where she's being accused of misandry, where ironically, she responds to a large male content creator who has like 1.5 million subs on YouTube, where she said, "I said if Harvey Weinstein invites you to a party, don't go." And it ruffled some feathers. And as I pointed out, this was my only...
That's not... Yeah. That's literally not what... Yeah, I agree. That's literally not what she said. That is literally not what she said. She didn't even name any... She didn't give any specific situation. This would be easier to know if it was a specific situation, an example that she gave, but she did not.
Interaction on Twitter with this whole situation. I just simply said, that's literally not what you said, with a screenshot of her previous post. It's not what she said. She's talking about content creators, and specifically male content creators, love bombing, small female content creators, and she's describing it here as Harvey Weinstein. That's a totally different situation. Yes, I get what she's trying to say down here, and the caution the small content creator should take in that situation, but you were not talking about Harvey Weinstein. That's not why people were upset with this, and that's why people are pointing out the inconsistency here. But then, around that same time, she made this tweet, which will be pretty much the focus of the rest of the video, where she said, "Artists, please ask permission before publicly posting finished commissions. I know you're really excited about finishing a really cool commission, but you might accidentally spoil a client's project. So many commissions, I just gave up doing anything because it was posted before I could do anything with them." And before this gets deleted, spoiler, gets deleted, it would have several million views, and it got a lot of attention, including people angry at a specific platform, because about 30 minutes after she made this post, in the replies, she would...
Isn't Skeb... Isn't the artist... Isn't it in the TUS that the artist has the copyright for the art on Skeb? Hold up. Wait a minute. Also, isn't Skeb Japanese?
Say multiple times about Skeb. She would say several things about Skeb, but she said this: "I hate you, Skeb." And a lot of people were angry at this platform because they had a poor perception of what's going on that platform. Now, what is Skeb? Skeb is...
And she can't read, by the way. This woman can't read.
...is a Japanese art platform that's not like a traditional social media platform. It's more like an art lobby where you can go and commission Japanese artists, and a lot of VTubers, especially those from even outside of Japan, use this to get artwork of their VTuber model. And her tweets would get some criticism because people would say, hey, if you look at some of the settings on Skeb, if you commission art, you can request from the artist to hide, to basically shield the artwork so it's not being shown to people who...
She can't read.
...the commissioner doesn't want to see it, or it's not made public. That is something you can request, but she says it's usually ignored due to Skeb policy. Sadly, not sure why they would even give the option. But during this time, there's kind of two layers. She's talking about the hiding option, but also she's implying and requesting that these artists do not post the finished commissions anywhere until she's ready for it, which will be a big issue in just a second. But this clip rubbed a lot of people...
And this is the one. It's called engagement farming. Maliciously retarded.
...the wrong way. I think it's stuff like this that makes a situation that's maybe a 2 out of 10 on the serious meter too much more, because it shows a particular attitude people don't like. In this clip, describing the outrage and drama she was facing, she basically said, I'm not in any sort of controversy right now. I'm just engagement farming. I'm just rage baiting people.
Canceled 4 times in a month, canceled 4 times in a month. Nuh-uh, guys, it's not being called canceled, it's called engagement farming. Thank you very much. Here we go again. Come on, you can't be for real. Guys, I'm so Dead ass.
Yeah, this is where a lot of people were lost. Even people are kind of hanging on to everything going on here and giving her the benefit of the doubt. They're like, that doesn't look good. Because if you're just claiming you're engagement farming, even if that is true, that doesn't look good because you're just saying a bunch of dumb stuff for attention on Twitter. I don't know why you would want to be doing that and wasting your time and getting frustrated over it. And if she's lying,
I do not like these people. And the more I stick around in this space, I've been a year in here, the more I realize why I don't like these people. The more it gets added to the pile of I don't like these people. I have like a whole huge pile of I don't like these people. And every month somebody puts something on there in addition. Oddly enough, I only have that problem with these big VTubers. Why all these people kind of, how do I put this? Mean girls? I don't know.
she's downplaying the criticism she's getting from many people, including a lot of her fans, over the recent tweets. And things would get worse because this morning, Sked, on their Japanese speaking,
which is like crazy, right? The Japanese. And now they have to call out her behavior.
Account would make a post in English clearly talking about what Bao had said and her claims about their platform. And they would say all works on Sked, all the rights to them belong to the creators, the artists. Clients, like Bao, cannot restrict creators from publishing their works for any reason. This notice is shown 4 times before sending their first request, and they cannot proceed unless they check the box agreeing to it.
She cannot read.
So as you can see, multiple times you have to physically click all of these boxes agreeing to their TOS. Long story short, she really didn't read the TOS and she got a false impression. It was basically requesting that these artists do not post their finished artwork, the finished commissions, anywhere until she was ready for it. And that is literally against their TOS. As a client, you cannot specify where they can post the finished commission. You can, however, request them to hide it on Sked, and they can request that or not. But in regards to other platforms, they have every right because the artist owns the copyright. It is their art. It's a commission for people like Bao. And when these artists have this copyright, they can post it on their social media. That is the rule. It's in the TOS and they repeat it 4 times. So it's very clear how things work here. And, well, shortly after, she would delete.
Surprise, surprise, no accountability. Accountability is a rare good. A rare good in this space, I feel like.
Her previous posts about Sked. And, well, yeah. I think because of the clip where she's talking about engagement farming and all this stuff, people, they looked at this even differently. Like, you were just going around rage baiting people, but now all of a sudden you're deleting tweets when you get corrected by the platform people, I think rightfully, thought you were talking about. And then she would come out with another statement. And
shut the fuck up.
People are clowning on this because it's a non-apology. She says, my original tweet was not about Sked. It was about my general experience with commissioned art. My opinion of Sked was an afterthought. I get why people are thinking the...
Oh my god, she is so maliciously retarded. I have no other way of putting this. I have no... You made a post about artists, criticizing artists. You make a response to the same post, naming Skeb. But I didn't mean Skeb. I didn't mean Skeb. I just made a response to it. It was an afterthought. This is like, I don't know. What would be a good example? This would be like shitting on creators and then afterwards responding with the name of a creator and then saying, "Oh, I didn't mean that person. I didn't mean that person now in specific."
I haven't used Skeb in almost a year. So I contest that, and a lot of people are skeptical of what she's claiming there because this is the original post before it was deleted. It was posted at 12:08 p.m. describing this whole situation involving how commissioned art is being shared before the commissioner is ready for it to be made public, or when they would prefer. So 12:08. And then at 12:39, so just over 30 minutes later, in the replies to the main post, she says, "I hate you, Skeb." So obviously people are going to get the impression you're talking about Skeb. And that post was up for days. I mean, it's been up for basically 4 days before it was finally deleted, and people were already correcting her, but it didn't seem to really register. And she made another reply like 2 or 3 hours later, saying, "I hate Skeb with a burning passion. I just don't think I have it in me to trust another similar platform." So it continues on, and there was the other post we looked at that was the next day or 2 days later. So she was continuing to say negative things about Skeb in the context of her original tweets, even here saying that or implying they're untrustworthy. It's just not a great look. I think I have a hard time believing this is all just a coincidence. I don't know. Just seeing
This is not a coincidence. We cannot act like it is a coincidence because it's not. It is not. It is not. It just is not a coincidence. Why would you make a tweet about artists and then name an artist platform? That's not a coincidence. I'm sorry. And then there's another one. There's another one. Nope.
timeline of events and the context, it's you should understand why people thought you were talking about Skeb, and we didn't get a clarification for like 4 days. So she continues on saying, "My tweet went way out of my circle and understandably lead a lot of people to think."
Way out of her circle. Does she consider that she has 600,000 followers? You don't have a circle at that point.
What I was saying to be 100% about Skeb. It wasn't.
It was.
So the thing is, she's saying the tweet went out of her circle. Like, no offense, you have 664,000 followers.
She's like saying like she has like 2,000 followers and made a tweet that just got a lot of attention. No.
On Twitter, everything's gonna be out of your circle. Like, it's a fact. The more your account grows on Twitter, the less fun it is, because you're not in your bubble anymore, and everything you tweet is gonna be open to scrutiny and people wanting to engage with it for attention or what have you. So you're not gonna have as much fun, and I don't believe someone with an account this big should be surprised anything gets out of their kind of corner of the internet. And Armchair Expert here comes out with another great graphic.
This is the best thing I've seen in a while. This graphic is peak. Should I post this? Who am I writing this for? Myself? Start a journal or vent to a friend instead? A target audience. Are they going to listen to me? Yes or no?
Talks about a lot of PR stuff.
Okay. Yes. No. No. Vent to a friend instead. Yes. Do I mind if people outside the target audience see my tweet? Yes. Delete the post and close the app. Or consult a professional to where to go accordingly. Touch grass. No. Is what I'm saying consistent with the morals, character, and overall image I wish to project to all possible audiences, present and future? Yes, send it. No, delete the post, close the app. Absolute cinema of a graph.
And this is a great little guide on whether or not you should make a tweet, okay? Everyone, including myself, can learn from this. Should I post this tweet? Who am I writing this for? Myself? Okay, then get a journal. For the target audience, are they going to listen to me is the next question. No? Okay, vent to a friend. If yes, do I mind if people outside that target audience see my tweets? If you say yes, delete the post and close the app, or consult a professional to reword it accordingly.
Could have done that with the first one already.
If no, is what I'm saying consistent with the morals, character, and overall image I wish to project to all possible audiences, present and future? If it's yes, okay, send it. If no, delete the post and close the app.
We could have done this with the first one, by the way. First tweet that all of this started should have gone this direction. Anyways.
And I think that's been the last couple of days for Bao. A lot of tweets that were, of course, going to leave the target audience, and they probably just weren't a good idea. And, well, she continues on, talking about kind of where she was coming from, and she was worried that some of the not safe for work commissions would be connected to her Skeb profile, and that
this sounds more so, hot take, this sounds more so that you try to essentially gatekeep your degenerate artwork so you can make basically you can paywall it easier. That's really what it is. Hot take. She's kind of like Sarai, I think is how you call it, the French one. The French VTuber. Where apparently, as far as I'm concerned, she was copyright striking people for making NSFW art of her, because obviously then she couldn't sell it on her Fansly. You get the idea. You get the idea. Well, I have a feeling that this is exactly like this.
That she was okay with them posting it on Twitter with no connection, but it doesn't really seem like that any of this was clear in the previous post. I'm glad she's clarifying some things here, but it's kind of late at this point. And she's saying, I understand why this confused artists, but even in my replies, I did not spread misinformation about Skeb. Of course, this all hinges upon the assumption she wasn't talking about Skeb, which
I highly doubt. It doesn't make sense, because if you mention Skeb twice in a post about criticizing artists, that's weird.
I think the majority of people being objective here, they see the connection, they see the timing, they see the context. They implied or thought it was being implied about Skeb, and I think that was reasonable to
realistically, the only people that are defending her are part of her honey trap / honeypot anyways.
Assume. And then her replies to this just make it worse. This person says, I saw it and just thought it was you having a moment of frustration. Sorry it left your bubble. There we go with the bubble again. And just became another reason to criticize you. And she says, it really was never that deep. So, why make the post? Why continue to talk about Skeb so much over the past
maliciously retarded
couple of days? And I don't know, I think it was a little bit deep, because this has been an ongoing thing for days and days, and she's been actively engaging with it, including on her streams and mocking the situation. And then you have this reply that's getting a lot of attention, where they say me when I lie, showing the original post and saying it's contradicting her current statement. And then she says, post my replies, dog, which, as pointed out, you can't. They're deleted. It's only screenshots. So I think she's trying to say, you know, there's more context in the replies, but you deleted all the context. And I still think with the timeline, it looks like you were talking about Skeb. But then, a couple hours after that, she would make another post in response to the backlash on the previous one, saying, I haven't been acting like myself at all. I feel that this year poisoned me.
What if, instead of not acting like yourself, you acted See, the thing is, I haven't been acting like myself. What does that even mean? Did some kind of like a spirit go inside your body and started tweeting and start spreading this stupidity? What is, maybe instead of not acting like yourself, you acted exactly like yourself. Ever consider that? Ever consider that? These people are always like with these apologies. I haven't been myself, or I wasn't educated enough, or whatever. But I sometimes don't believe it. Maybe this is exactly who you are, and the Bao that we see, I've seen the entire time before that, is the Bao that you're actually not. Maybe that is the acting not like myself part.
Deeply, and I'm not able to focus on anything but all the negatives. It's all I can think about, and it's not fair to air it out in a space that's trying to heal.
The space isn't trying to heal. There's nothing different. There's literally nothing different since the Cinder situation. Nothing is different. It's not different before that. It's not different after that. The only thing that I've noticed is that more and more men in this space, which is interesting, and also a lot of women, refuse to be treated like dog shit. Maybe that. Anyways.
I am impulsive, and I don't think things through. I wear
we can tell
my emotions on my sleeve, and that is a terrible combination. And
maybe you shouldn't be on the internet. If you don't have impulse control, maybe you should not be a content creator. I think that you cannot be a content creator if you lack impulse control. I think that if you have the desperate desire just to say everything that goes into your mind, that's a problem.
Irresponsible and really dangerous. I am very sorry. At worst, I am dumb as F, not malicious.
You are both. I believe you are both.
So, unfortunately, the quotes, they're not looking great.
I tripled down on misandry, and now Scab has to make indirect response because of my tweets. And now I need to backpedal so hard. I'm not bad. I'm just retarded. True.
I'm sure she's going to get a lot of support. And I'm sure some people will see this and be like, all right, let's move on. And I think this whole thing's going to blow over in a couple days. But people are, mocking it, saying in quotes that she tripped.
I think throughout this video right now, you can tell that I have a big distaste for a lot of these people mostly because of their bad behavior. I have a big distaste for almost all of them. And I think this is a hot take again, but I believe that this behavior is a result of VTuber fans coddling their Oshis. Your Oshi can in fact be a bad person. Your Oshi can, in fact, be malicious. And you don't need to defend everything they're saying just because they're their Oshi. They're your Oshi. Just food for thought. Maybe reconsider that defending somebody for having bad takes is maybe not the ideal way, because it pushes, if people make mistakes and they're supported through their mistakes, and what I mean by that is not like you did something wrong, you acknowledge it's wrong, but you should acknowledge it's wrong. We're here, but you need to think about this more, right? But if you're like, you go queen based, they're gonna think this is gonna be a push to their ego, and they're gonna think that what they're doing is right, so they continue with this behavior. It's like an endless spiral. Maybe it's time to realize that our VTubers are just human.
Down on misandry and now Scab and have to make an indirect response, and now it's just backpedaling and saying that she's dumb, and this is why it's happening, and then people saying there's no accountability being taken, and I don't know what this person's saying. That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Probably because this person might be from Blue Sky. I remember the VTuber hit list, and I think Bao was on there as well.
People saying F off, go farm engagement. Yeah, that's what people are feeling. No, you are indeed malicious. A normal person don't throw others under the bus for bait or farming engagement, as you said on stream. That was a pure vile attitude. So essentially what you said is...
I feel like in recent times, attitude might be on sale.
All you said is what you really think out loud, and now people are angry about it, essentially. And yeah, it goes on and on, but I think you get the point. As I just said, I think this is going to blow over in like a couple days. And, you know...
Yeah. This is usually the case, right? This is usually the case. Give it like 2 weeks, and it's gone. Nobody cares anymore. Pretty normal.
I hope she...
Aside, like, if she does make another tweet, which, let's not do another tweet. I think you've talked enough.
Figures things out. Probably just stop tweeting for a bit. Like, I think that's good advice to literally anyone at this point, especially anyone with a large following who's already facing a bunch of backlash for many different things. I think the more you try to explain things, the worse it's probably going to get in a lot of situations. And here, well...
This could have all been over pretty quickly. 2 tweets. A single tweet. I'm sorry for generalizing. I shouldn't have not done that. It moved on. Literally just a single tweet could have prevented this. But the ego is so high.
This whole thing kind of blew up in her face. But anyways, I know a lot of people are still going to be her fan. Some people might walk away. A lot won't. It's just the reality of really anything with content creation. But I just thought this was an interesting situation. I want to give the context because there's a lot of deleted stuff, a lot of back and forths, and the timeline is a mess here. But just wanted to update people on what's going on here and try to help out with an orderly series of events here. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today.
I think I shared my thoughts enough. I do think that she absolutely meant scab, and I do think that it was absolutely malicious in a way. Either that, like, you cannot be this stupid. Like, can you not read? Like, if you use a platform, at least you should know the TOS. There's like the same situations with the VTubers complaining that they got banned for showing parts on Twitch that the TOS clearly forbids. Like, yes, it's a double standard, but at the same time, if you don't follow the TOS, you're still gonna get banned. So why would you provoke it? Same situation here. You know that the creators have the copyright. You should know. And if you didn't, that's horrible. That's stupid. But you should know. And you shouldn't make all a fuss about it. Again, the original tweet, Missandra's tweet, if she literally just would have not generalized, the situation would have not come up. But she did. And she faced the consequences for it. But yeah, I agree. This will be over in 2 weeks. Nobody cares anymore. Anyways, moving on. Thank you for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.